Yes, what's up? Yes, it's your man, the Triple B, in the house, spitting lyrics, spitting the truth, yeah, in the microcosm of boxing. Anyway, yeah, I like to do a video there at least, so I'm looking around and what's going on? And, I found this very weird article in a paper it's a UK paper called The Guardian, which people call the Groniad. The reason they call it Groniad is because they're always making spelling errors, and they're like an alleged liberal, in inverted commas. Because liberalism isn't about being liberal; it's just about following the agenda. Yeah. Oh, we're liberal, but except if we don't like you, and then we're not liberal. We don't agree with you. It's the biggest misnomer in the world, probably. It's an embarrassment. If anybody falls for that nonsense, getting brainwashed, thinking, yeah, I'm a liberal. What does that mean? Oh, I follow whatever, the papers tell me to. The media, the BBC, the Roniad, and even JP Morgan and all these other things that had like LGBT pride parades. Yeah, that's the kind of guy I am. I'm an NPC. I got a brain of my own. I'm blue pilled, and I swallowed that blue pill. I swallowed it. It's too late for me. Anyway, so this article in the Groniad was about Frank Warren and Mike Tyson. Okay, let's see what it said. Yeah, so we look at the article in the Groniad, and it's titled "He's Got That Beast in Him," end quote. The difficult legacy of Mike Tyson. The boxer, Mike Tyson, disowned a new scripted series about his life, as those who have known him continue to have complicated thoughts on who he is and was, said some bummer clock called David Smith. Now, it goes through the usual Tyson stuff. Oh, someone killed my pigeons and all that. And, the one thing you got to remember, right? Mike Tyson did some bad things. Yeah, he didn't have a great life to start off with. Yeah, his mother died at 16. Yeah, he had no father. Yeah, people attacked his pigeons. He was quite a sweet guy. People like animals are generally quite sweet in their heart. They got empathy. Yeah, Tyson always liked animals. So it's that usual kind of stuff. And someone ripped the head off his pigeon. He battered him and all this kind of thing, man. But what's interesting is that I don't know why they choose, Frank Warren as an important source. I understand, right? They had some They had some, I think Warren promoted Tyson v. Julius Francis, yeah? Now, Warren says he is a terrible manipulative bully. Every fighter that's beaten him, he couldn't intimidate. There's some truth in that. Everyone who he's beaten, he couldn't intimidate. Everyone who he has beaten, he couldn't intimidate. It's like intimidate you, that's a killer for him. I mean, firstly, this is boxing, man. And intimidation of opponents is part of that, man. You got to win. Is Tyson been a bully? Yeah, he is, but he's a good bully, and he's also a lot smaller than most of the guys he's fought. Warren, so he carries on. He's a compelling character. He's one of those fellas who gets you to feel that he's misunderstood. When you get into it, he is what he is. He's a thug and a bully, a misogynist. This is where it gets interesting. He's very homophobic when he's cursing someone or he's shouting at them. Now, Warren... Okay, now this is the alleged story. Again, it's alleged. So Tyson went to get some jewels at some, there's no doubt Tyson likes to badly throughout his career. I don't believe that whole Denise whatever thing, Washington thing. That was some weird setup. And then he got some jewels in Bond Street or something like that. And he said, "Oh, Warren will sort it out. It's from my purse and all that stuff." And I don't think Warren did. I think Warren was displeased. I understand that, but they allegedly had an argument in Frank Warren's office. So Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson's an intimidating guy. Even if he wasn't world heavyweight champion, this is a big man, very aggressive. Right? He's had a hard life though, which doesn't, of course, it does not allow for this kind of behavior, but you got to look at everything from the bigger picture. And he tried to grape Frank Warren in his office, and he slapped him and gave him a damaged eye, apparently. So obviously Warren's not a huge fan of Mike Tyson because no one wants to be raped by Mike Tyson, okay? But, you know, I find this bizarre, this attack. It's sort of out of the blue, you know, years afterwards. Yeah? Let's look again what he said. Yeah? He's a compelling character, and he's one of the fellows who gets you to feel about him misunderstood. When you get into it, is what he is. He's a thug, a bully, and a misogynist. He's very homophobic. Why aren't he cursing someone with Shannon? So now, think about that, right? So Warren, yeah, and he's staying gangster, basically. He's now suddenly going, oh, Tyson's an awful person because he's homophobic, right? Let me tell you what, these words are now used to strike people down. Oh, Tyson must be evil. He's an homophobic. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let's forget Warren not paying Joe Calzaghe and, doing all kinds of other dodgy things. Well, now we've got crucified Tyson because he's a homophobic. But, you know what? Where was he getting that from? So he said, I mean, you know, street stuff. He said, oh, you're an FAWGOT Lennox and all this kind of stuff. I mean, in the heat of the moment, so what, man? Let me tell you how, like, what the powers that be, they manipulate words. They manipulate and they coin new words. Even the word racism was invented by, I think, Trotsky or Marx, so that people would not be able to criticize or comment on, large-scale immigration, on other people coming into their country. Oh, no, you're awful. You're a racist. So suddenly this word has become, no, I'm not talking to him. He's a racist. Why is he a racist? Oh, well, he said, I think there's too many immigrants. You know what? You understand. This is how easy it is to the NPCs. They just get programs. Oh, this guy bad because he said X, instead of looking at the actual picture and going, oh, okay, I understand, maybe, No, it becomes a names calling thing. It's something in school again. Most NPCs are like school children, yeah? Oh, that guy's bad, he smells, he's this. It's like, I said it before, the Star Wars thing. Good guys and bad guys, that's all. The NPCs understand. This person good, this person bad. They don't look in the complexity. And these guys are usually mid-IQ people because they're the easiest to program. Like the lower IQ people are just like, I don't believe that. This guy's no good. Put him to death. And the higher IQ guys, such as Triple B, would be like, hey, things are a lot more complicated. We need to look into this. Who's manipulating this? What? Tyson, stop. Anyway, that's my dog, sorry. And then, so the midwits, consider themselves to be intellectually superior, even though they are the most easy to indoctrinate program because they have enough intelligence, right, to consider slightly abstract concepts, but they don't have the intelligence to criticize it. Yeah. They just accept they don't even know when they're watching the TV and reading the Grony ad. It doesn't matter, we read the Grony ad, the Sun, the Star, the Sunday Sport, the Daily Mail, the Telegraph. They all push the same agenda. They just push it to slightly different people and readers. You get the same stuff. Telegraph did an article about how, years ago, about how, if you got a wife, the best present you could give her is to have a free pass to sleep with another man. I mean, can you believe that? And you got the Sun, which is full of degeneracy and Love Island. And the Grony ad tries to be, more intellectual and stuff. But, people just repeat the same stuff. Trump, by the way, I'm not no Trump fan, so please understand that. And he's just part of the establishment. He's been used in his own way. It's another form of deceit. Oh, Trump bad, Hillary Clinton good. Even though Hillary Clinton, has been in court and has laughed at young 12-year-old girls being humiliated in court about sexual assault. Like I said, they're all wrong uns and they're serving your masters. The globalist banks, the big corporations. All right, so I've gone on a bit of a tangent there. the reason this is relevant to this case is, so where's Frank Warren? Yeah, a boxing promoter who, with a slightly dodgy past, you don't need to look into it, and he's suddenly having a go at Tyson. Obviously, he tried to, grape him, but he's suddenly having a go at Tyson, saying, he's terrible, he's homophobic. What is suddenly Frank Warren? Is Frank Warren Peter Tatchell from Stonewall? Suddenly, I mean, it's because as I said to you, how they manipulate words. It's suddenly been made. So, homophobia is so bad. If you say anything against Bati business, you're evil. Yeah, because living this kind of lifestyle, which is very, very unhealthy, is suddenly, decided that it's beautiful because, there's nothing wrong with a man pushing his tool up another man's batty hole. It's completely normal. It's invading Christianity, it's invading religion, it's invading everything. These people are being programmed. You'll notice them on your social media feeds and that. All they will do is repeat the same nonsense. Some of them quite skilled, like, have got a bit of a brain, but obviously not enough of a brain because they're mid-wits, and they will use, what's the word, fallacious arguments, is that the right word? And, easy reasoning, facile reasoning, to push that agenda, but they don't realise they're just a pawn, man. They've been programmed, right? So this whole, I find it weird that Warren at this point is suddenly coming out in a large British newspaper saying this stuff about Tyson. Why? So it's important to know why. Well, now apart from, I told you before in some previous videos, one of Tyson's keys was I don't even know what words to use, but was born with a XY chromosome and whatnot, or is it double X chromosome, the female one anyway, and then he apparently this kid now is like, I'm trans masculine, I'm this, that, and the other, I want to be known as Ramsey, not by my birth name, and so Tyson's been pushing stuff, but Tyson's always been a rebel. I told you, I've shown you all them pictures of him hiding his eye and doing this, that, and the other. He got taught a lesson with the Denise Washington. Is it Denise? With the Washington, case. Don't step out of line, man. You lose your money, you lose your freedom. Okay? So, I think this is another case of they're punishing Tyson because he might have said something that they didn't like. He might not have followed the agenda. So they're dissing him again in the groany ad. It's just another article to push the agenda. Imagine Frank Warren. Frank Warren is suddenly Mr. LGBT rights. Oh, I'm so disgusted about the homophobic comments. Come on, man. And I say that, I mispronounce that on purpose. But, what he's called Lennox Lewis, FAWGOT. He also says some other weird shit, like people could, could nosh him off and this kind of stuff. So, Tyson's just another pawn, right? He's been put into line for some reason. He must have, I don't know why, he must have stepped out of line somehow. Or they've just reminded him, don't step out of line. Right? And it's another article just to push the agenda, which is, and by the way, there are loads of brochures, leaflets. You can find them all over the internet by Marxist schools, I don't need an easy label, but, Trotskyist schools, Socialist schools, whatever. People that want control of the society that say, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to push sexual degeneracy. We're going to break down family values. We're going to break down Christian values, right? We will get people obsessed with entertainment and music and sex, and then we got them. Because, as long as they've got the entertainment, a roof over their head and a bit of food, then they'll be happy. And they'll just do what we say. Anyway, it's a bit of a random, rant, but this modern world, man, this modern world, depressing me in some way, but then people are opening their eyes up. People are opening their eyes up.